healthy as hell. And when you think about what needs to happen in this country in terms of change, what's the first thing that you think of?
Equality. That's pretty much the first thing that comes to mind, right? Black people need to be seen as equals in this world. You know, we had to fight just to be recognized as a full citizen in this country and not three-fifths.
The world is now seeing what we've known for so long in the culture and in the community. The one way that we can fight is obviously voting. Talk to me about what voting means to you.
I hear people all the time talk about one vote doesn't matter and that voting doesn't make a difference. If that's true, why do they work so hard to suppress the black vote? Because they understand the power.
I vote. I'm white, but I vote for you guys.
Collectively, also understand the power of their vote, and not just on the national.
I don't care.
Sometimes we only have this conversation every 4 years. People need to be very much involved in their local politics. They need to understand who their elected officials are, where they stand on issues that affect you. And you need to use your vote to either support the ones that care about you and your condition, or to elect people who do. A newer initiative that we're dealing with is educating felons, right? So in the state of Texas, if you're a felon, right, if you've been to jail or to prison, but you're no longer on probation or parole, you have the right to register to vote. Another thing that was just brought to my attention is an initiative called Orange, which is happening not just in Houston, but all over the country. If you're in jail currently during pre-trial, but you have not been convicted, like you're still in jail waiting for your day in court, you are still eligible to vote.
And you said something so key. They work so hard to hope that we stay uninformed, but more importantly, to suppress the black vote. If you could do one thing with this message that we're trying to send today about how important voting is, what type of images would you like for people to understand and see when they go to these polls and vote, or when they cast their ballots?
I think the images that we've all seen, you know what I'm saying, for decades in this country, if not centuries in this country, we've seen black people oppressed, we've seen black people attacked. So every time you look back and you see those old black and white images of people of color being attacked by dogs and people of color being sprayed with hoses, that's what they were fighting for. Back then, they were just fighting for a chance to vote. People like Martin Luther King Jr., people like Malcolm X, these people died to help us be in a position to have the power that we have now, which is to be able to cast a vote and make a decision about the people that have control over our lives. So, I mean, if you in your own community...
If I say they use Black Lives Matter as an excuse,
if the people
would you just unfriend me?
Not open to police reform, or not open to having a conversation...
Use Black Lives Matter as an excuse?
No, it's not. Concerning economic equality, judicial equality, racial equality...
They still think it's like, my dad still thinks that you guys think that you guys are like peasants. That wasn't me.
If the people in your community don't feel that way, vote them out. That's simple. Just vote them out. We don't have enough time to sit around and hope that people change their mind.
Yeah, but we have the power. And that is in our vote, and that is with our voice, and that's how we use our voice. I think of where we are right now. People say this is a particular moment, but it is a movement. Not just a moment, it is a movement. Why, in your opinion, you are so...
I think it's twofold, Carrie. Happen in the interaction. And so what happens is, in a court of law, it tends to lean towards the policeman's point of view. Right? In this case, we saw very clearly what happened. I think the other thing is due to the fact that everyone was at home, basically, during this time period in relation to the coronavirus. You couldn't avoid it, right? It was on every television station. It was on every social media platform. Everywhere you turned, you were constantly hit upside the head with this message. You see in the interaction that this man did nothing to deserve what happened.
That's right. That's so well said, because if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't worth it, and he didn't have to lose his life. I think that we touched on something that a lot of people talk about, and that is now defunding the police. That has been such a huge conversation, but there's so many misconceptions around defunding and dismantling. If you will, educate the audience.
All right, so most people, when they hear the term defund the police, they tend to think of, oh, they're going to take away our police department. Nothing could be further from the point. Defunding the police means that in certain communities, even in Houston, for example, we had over $1 billion allocated to our police force. Now, what is that money being used for? Some of that money tends to be allocated towards riot shields, right? Pepper spray, right? That kind of thing. That's only used against the people that fund this budget, right? So why would the people want to supply the police with the means to oppress them? If the police are concerned about the situation in certain communities with a higher crime rate, well, higher crime rates tend to happen in communities where there's not there's not employment opportunities, right? There's not a lot of social services, and people are going to do what they need to do to take care of themselves and their families. When the community has more opportunities for employment, more opportunities for upward mobility, then they tend to be a less of a strain on the government. They tend to have a lower crime rate, and because of that, we'll have less need for the police in those communities.
You are passionate about so many different things in terms of making sure that we are holding our leaders accountable. Talk to me about some of the other projects that you do.
Well, right now, obviously, being a part of More Than a Vote is essential. We're dealing with primaries in this country right now, and we just want to educate people. We want to inform people because people are tired, they're angry, they're concerned, and they want information and they want action. And so we want to make sure that we give them the right information and lead them in the right direction. And we thank the people that do not look like us for standing with us right now, because it's very important that people who aren't black be involved, because if black people could have gotten rid of racism, we would have done it hundreds of years ago. And so I'm trying to use my voice and my platform just to let people know that if they feel like I do, there's a number of places they can go to enact change in their community. People need to know about how their city council runs. They need to know that they have the ability to speak when city council meets, to let them know that that's not the way that they feel their city needs to be run. Those are not the places that they feel the money of their community needs to be allocated.
No, I know she's blocking your screen, right? Just move.
Office in their local community.
If she's blocking your screen,
positions. Like, people act like they leave it up to somebody else. If you're upset, it's not hard to get on the school board. It's not hard to be a part of the city council. It really isn't. And depending on how small your town is, you can be a mayor. The power is with the people, and we need to just know that that's happening.
Absolutely, and it's always been with the people. You know, if you look at Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, right? She felt that there was a system of racism and a system of oppression that led to her son's death. And so what did she do? She ran for city council, and she's elected.
I don't know, I missed some things.
Former president, Barack Obama, right?
Yeah.
Started in the community as an activist, ran for an elected position, became senator, ran for another elected position, became president of the United States. So don't think that you can't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of power. Your voice is enough to make a difference.
Man, I feel like I need to go out and run for something. You gave me a rousing speech there, sir. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this. When I talk to my brothers, I have to ask you, as a black man, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I have a very strong relationship with God, so prayer definitely works for me. I have children and grandchildren who are watching me, who are encouraged by what I do, and they're proud of me right now, you know, and that's really what matters, you know. The change starts at home, you know, so as long as you have a support system that believes in what you're doing.
This is the most boringest thing.
You have everything you need to go out there and fight. And for those that don't, there's a community of people here to help. You can go to places like vote.org. There are many different places that will.
I'm not one of those people who thinks black people are different. I think that they are, but I don't mean like, I beat you. I mean like, your skin color might be different, but yeah.
I think this is not boring because you know what color I am. Am I right? Yeah. I like this because you know what color I am.
Yeah.
Understand it.
But there are so many different people that we could talk
You don't understand why I like this?
Yeah.
Molly on the huge successful show Insecure, HBO's Insecure. She also has a comedy special highlighting her creativity.
Well, because
she's an
I'm that
amazing
color.
podcaster. Let's welcome in Yvonne. You have such a beautiful way of making things funny, giving us our medicine routine.
Stop blocking my way, you
You are
stupid.
in healing. You bring all of that
Whatever it's called.
to your space. And right
Why are they
now,
all trying to block us, right?
and how everyone is so broken and so upset.
Stop blocking my way, you
Yeah,
stupid.
make
On expert. Turn my mic up.
You know,
Is this better?
no.
read the server stuff.
Are you sure? Hello? Hello? Is this better?
Hello. You like away from it, but it's fine.
I personally think that
Is
God
this
put all
better?
of us on a global
Yes.
timeout. Like we just, America hasn't done as good as other people when it comes to timeouts because
My
everyone
voice
else
is
is out
starting
playing at
to.
recess, and we
Did
literally
my
we're
voice
still in the
change or
principal's
something?
office hoping and wishing we could come out. But I think that if
Hello?
we settle into the timeout
Hello?
Did my
and
voice
really learn the
change?
lesson that we're supposed to learn from this
Yeah.
season, I think we'll emerge better. We'll learn how to play well with others in more ways than one. And so personally for me, I'm taking this time to
We've been
learn
friends.
me in a new way. I
Wait a
feel like
second.
I'm
We've
being
been
ushered
friends
into a
for
new season
3 years,
and
right?
I'm getting still. Because sometimes the
3
busy
years, right?
confounds
You met
the
BK
work
for
that we're
2
supposed to actually
months,
be
right?
doing. We're busy doing other stuff, but we got work
1 year,
that we
right?
need to do on the inside. So I'm leaning
2
into
years,
like,
right?
dang, I thought I was gonna be able
Yes.
to rest like everybody else. But you guys
Dang.
like, nah, we got work to do.
You know what? And I think that's what everybody is saying about 2020. It's
It
demanding
says
that we be
you've
better.
met
And
him
you
for
said it's a global
1 year and a
timeout.
half.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's like everyone sit down, be humble. To
Is
quote the
that
great
right?
prophet Kendrick Lamar. But like no, seriously,
Camo.
sit down and let's reevaluate some things. Let us
Right.
unearth and shake
Have
up
you
the
been
things that
actually
we have
friends
been
with him
trying to
for
hide
1 year and a
within
half?
ourselves, within our nation. I think
Yes.
America is going through an unraveling right now, a much
So,
needed and much necessary
Who
one.
do you
And I
like better,
think
BK or me?
all
I'm
eyes
just
on
asking.
us, right? There is
Yeah.
no, oh, I was on the
Please, thank
subway
you.
for an
I wasn't gonna
hour,
get
so I
jealous,
didn't
by
miss
the way.
that thing that happened. No,
Or
everybody
offend
was
you or
home.
anything.
Everybody, was watching when George Floyd died,
What, did the
and
screen go blurry
You
for
can
you
watch it,
too?
okay? I'm going to go
everyone
one
was
around.
watching when Amy
Okay.
Cooper down watched
Stupid
and let's
Jules.
learn. And globally, it's like, hey, we were going business as usual,
Down.
but it ain't usual no more. Like that's old. Anytime change occurs, it's very uncomfortable. And so right now we're sitting with we're getting we're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Because my boys, we've been comfortable with being uncomfortable because that to me explains just the existence for whatever we want to do, how we break into our careers, how we live our lives, how we find ourselves one of the few or one of the first. And that's a lonely road.
You really don't like this food.
When you talk about this global timeout, everybody had to pay attention to Amy Cooper. Everyone had to pay attention to George Floyd. How is that helping us as a people, as a country?
I like it because you know why.
I think
You're black.
we're not minorities.
Yeah.
Karen, you already know it. It's like these labels that they put on us. It's like the same way.
I got pussy moves.
Black
Besides,
balance.
I'm being
Also, there's no white
boring.
balance. It's branding. Yeah,
It's
right.
just
It's
because I
all
like
branding.
it.
You're right.
It's like white people get white
This
people
really
every
been going for
single
2
day.
hours.
No, there is no black on black violence. And if you say black on black violence, well then let's brand white on white balance. Like I watched Investigation Discovery. Ain't too many of us. So, I just even like, but to answer your question, what does that do? I think what everyone expected is what has happened in the past when the world was still open, right? In that, okay,
That's not true.
everyone,
What's not true?
It was not
so
open.
Trayvon Martin,
It was slaves.
Sandra Bland. You had all of these lives lost.
That's why
And
I'm freaking cops
Black
shooting
people made some noise. We
Bro,
rioted.
why? Why do cops
Might have a gun.
shoot black people?
Started the Black Lives Matter movement, all of those things.
Do you know people shoot white people? Black cops shoot white people. Black cops shoot white people.
No, they
Is
don't.
it over? It's like Oscar's so black. Okay, good. We gave
Black
some
people,
Oscars. Are
they
we good
can do
now? Like,
anything.
are we even? And it's now it's just like, oh no. This is not about like a bandit. It's like, yo, we might have to amputate the leg,
Stupid recon expert.
but it's all right because we're gonna by
No,
amputating
stop
the leg, we're
smelling.
gonna save the body. And so I think that's what's happening now. Like America is realizing, like, oh, black people are just making a little bit of noise. Like the protests are still out. The conversations are still being had. The change is still being demanded. And I think they're seeing, oh, this is not going away. And no, it's not, because we need systematic change.
What a beautiful way to explore what is happening and describe our country. We might have to amputate the leg, but that's to save the body. That's what's happening right now. That's beautiful. And to that end, I have to ask you this. Because
That's disgusting.
we use our voice. And our voice right now in this world, in this country, is vote. And everyone...
I want to
talks
vote.
about voting and how important it is, but I feel like more than ever we understand that it's not just about voting every 4 years.
Douglas, how do I
It's about
vote?
local elections. It's about the mayor. It is about the district attorney.
Of the country. You can be of the city. You can be of the group. You can be of what it actually affords. But I think going back to your earlier
Devils
about just the setup of system, I think we are done a disservice either if schools or whatever it is, and I'm not putting teachers on blast. I think teachers do a phenomenal job, but for some reason, we do not, and give them all the raises. I know too many parents who are like, I'm like, this child of mine, I do love them, but hey, when can I drop the ball?
Devils.
I do think that there's a disservice done because, again, when we talk about this, your point, we talk about every 4 years. It's important to vote for the presidency. We don't realize, like, oh, snap, we actually can vote about, like, how much our libraries get. It's like small things like that, but they make a big difference.
When you think of voter suppression in this country, what does it look like for you?
It's the system. When we talk about voter suppression, we also talk about systematic racism, right? It's all the systems that set up. And we've
Can we watch this only for 15 minutes?
Party's moving in 15 minutes.
Maybe, you know, you'll be able to get this luxury.
Why?
It should be a luxury.
I'm going to watch this for the whole time.
It should be built into the fabric of how we vote.
I don't like it.
Maybe you'll be able to get this luxury in order to enable.
Why did you not black?
Think about everything.
Lives matter.
And then it's been shut down, repressed, told it doesn't matter, and then you're kind of like, what's the point?
How do we keep hope?
Camo.
If I'm watching this right now,
Camo.
how do we as a people stay hopeful?
Camo.
How do we believe in the promise that
You don't.
Camo.
Because have you met black people?
What?
Would you kill a family of black people for $1 billion?
No.
Me neither.
I'd kill a white family for $1 million.
You would?
Give it to me.
Listen, there's some people who will kill black people for $1 million.
We were 3/5 people. That was a written law. And look at us now. We are whole. We are black girl magic. We are black boy joy. We are, you know what I'm saying? What I think about in terms of giving us hope, right? We're making a lot of people nervous right now. We're making a lot of people nervous right now because they're like, dang, we are way. And these jokers are resilient. But that should give us hope. That should give us hope that, like, we can't stop, won't stop. I mean, I went to the school of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag, about Harlem shaking right now. We can't stop, won't stop. And I think that's our motto. We can't stop voting and we will stop voting. We can't stop marching and we will stop marching. We can't stop thriving and we will stop thriving.
To that end,
Devils.
you led me directly there. I've been asking everyone who has appeared on this platform, what does activism look like?
You're just holding my feelings.
Why?
Yes, it is marching. Yes,
I don't know why.
Yes, it is speaking out against things that we feel are not right or unjust. But talk to me about what activism looks like for you.
Activism, I think the beauty of activism is that it has many faces. Right?
Where's the white people?
You have the people on the front line. Like, you know,
There isn't.
Martin Luther King marched, but there were a lot of women.
There's no white people?
Like, hey, when they come back, this is how we.
Is that kind of racist?
No.
We're going to be here doing.
Because white people ain't getting good warden here.
Somebody needs to bail them out of jail so that we need to now we need to be in the community, you know, getting money or whatever.
It's just all black people. Where's the white people?
So whoever you are,
They're not in
and
here.
whatever you do, play your position. So activism could look like, you know what? I'm not the one that's good. I could go deep. So I'm gonna support the people. You know, I'm like, Black joy is a
There's always a call to
Well, you might not think it's racist, but I do. It's like white people, they don't think black lives matter, but because they don't believe that racism exists.
Beneath the surface of what we do, like Nat said, it's the who, right? The who is the person who's gonna be like, hey, let me call this out. Either blind racism in terms of overt racism, in terms of ways that we can be better, in terms of ways that we can actually be more uplifting to the community that you may not even realize that you're serving.
Before I let you go, talk to me about the urgency in your opinion vote, our people to get out and vote this coming election.
You know why we only talk to black people?
Why?
See what they think about George Floyd getting killed and the Black Lives Matter stuff.
I want to see like action, movie action, like boom, boom, boom.
We gotta vote for our families. We gotta vote for our legacy.
Do you want to do duos?
We have to vote for upward mobility. We have to vote for
please
equality in a way that is long lasting. And if we succeeded before, we can do it again. We talk about the whole. This is the time. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to pretend away that we haven't made progress. We have. There's still much more to be done. And you know what? We might have to get to a point where we pass the baton to our children and our children's children, but we still have work to do now for that generation.
You are everything. You are Molly, but you are not Molly. I love you so much as Molly on HBO Insecure. You are an amazing podcaster, Jesus and John. And then we also have movies. Like you have the world. You're a model, a couple. Also, wait, don't let me forget your hugely successful stand-up comedy special on HBO. Girl, you're doing it all. And I am so grateful. You are truly the dream, not just the American dream. You're a black girl, in your dream, everything. You're beautiful, beautiful. Yvonne Virgin, ladies and gentlemen, nothing but the best and an excellence person. Thank you so much.
I love you so much.
So Atlanta has been one of the hotbeds in terms of political unrest and social
white person, white person, white person.
Founding fathers of the civil rights movement. Right now, we want to find someone who has used this platform to talk about voting, to talk about racial injustice, and how he's trying to play. Atlanta's very own Russ joins us now. Russ,
Yes!
I'm not going to fan out and tell you some of my favorite songs.
You happy?
Yep.
So we got to talk about, recently you did an interview where you shared your outlook on culture and music, and you also were very candid about the fact that you have a privilege and that it's necessary for you to give back. Tell everybody about that.
It's very obvious I'm white and I'm in black culture and I'm benefiting financially off it. So I feel like if you're a white person financially benefiting off of black culture, you have to put finances back into black culture. It's that simple. The screenshots with your feelings, it just comes off like fake empathy because it comes off very dismissive and very oh, that sucks for y'all. But anyway, back to what I was doing.
Have you felt that way always, or is it now because of the time where we are in this country?
I've always had the feeling. I think now it's just obviously elevated. It's a new level and there's new, it's to the point now where you can't, first of all, you can't not say anything. Second of all, though, I just think saying something isn't enough anymore. I think, if you have the ability to
this is boring.
Put money back into a culture that you're financially benefiting from.
Not to me.
If you have the ability to, you should.
It's interesting.
I don't like this. I'm gonna play solos.
I do believe that silence is the best way to go
because I'm bored. Leave that! Stop licking the floor!
What's in your program? Right, freaking DJ to play this shit.
No. He's offline.
How do you find yourself?
For the rest of the day, probably.
Interacting with people when they talk to you about social injustice, police brutality, what's going on in this country right now?
Well, first of all,
I'll see you back when you start.
Whether you want to be silent or not about race, that's a privilege.
You don't leave the party?
No, I mean, I try to just do my best to
just not
listen
talk.
to the black people around me and the educated black people I have in my life. So I do my best to not act like I have all the answers for everything, especially in a culture that I'm not from.
Like I did.
But that's why when we decided to raise the money for Black Lives Matter organizations, when we raised $500,000,
it's 7:28 and that thing kept it going.
Some of the women who started Black Lives Matter, I got on the phone with Tamika Mallory, I was on the phone with Karen Civil, talking with my friends to make sure the money went to like the correct place.
Then let's do duos because I'm getting tired.
It's just about listening. That's all.
I took my 9 nights.
Because the way I think of activism for me,
3, 2, 1.
Quiet.
What about
It's just the party's moving in 5 minutes, so don't worry.
what inspired you? What did it
What does that even mean?
raise money for Black Lives Matter? What did you do?
Do you know
I don't know.
That you did and how you find yourself in this moment?
So for me, it was 3 years ago. I had like a string of festivals, and I decided that I was going to wear T-shirts with a message on them because I figured, what better time to use a platform than in front of a bunch of people. So one of the T-shirts I wore was, if you want to change the system, speak up, white silence is pro-racism, the whole thing. And it didn't really it kind of got swept under the rug back then.
If you have 3
but
wishes,
when all
what
this
would it
stuff
be?
started happening again, and it's
Wish I could see you in person. Wish we went to the same school.
Man, I'm not the biggest artist in the world.
And wish I had $1
and I certainly
million.
don't have the most hype fans in the world.
You know what I would wish for?
I got a good amount of people that I can
Infinite
definitely
money
mobilize and turn
and
into some
world
elite.
hunger
And I know they're down for
and-
the cause because it's merch, it's a good thing. And I've always been outspoken anyway.
And-
so how am I going to be in black
coronavirus.
culture not be outspoken about racism?
And then I gotta ask you this because you grew up in Atlanta, so that gives you a heads up.
No, I wish for
Because you're
infinite money.
that beautiful
See you go to the same school with you. Every time I change schools, you go with me.
things that's so culture right now.
And we're not we're under World Hunger.
Especially with this platform today, and saying that we must
And
use our
Wonder when you will die?
Talk to me about what
wonder when we and have a mansion with you.
Full transparency, I had never voted before.
Who would own the mansion? Me.
Because,
You
I was one of those people who was like,
Me.
my vote
No,
doesn't
me.
matter, and, and I don't know.
Because you
maybe
know
because I was younger,
that
maybe
I will
some
have a
really
good
thought that, or
job.
I don't know, but
Like my
I
mom
just
and
think
dad,
that
they're probably
it's
gonna
got
give me their
to,
job.
now
I
this
get
is a
older.
bit of a, this
You
is
know
a
how
bit
much
of a,
money
let's just
they
say it's
get?
got to a breaking point for me,
How
because
much?
it's been past
Like-
the breaking point for black people. But I think that as a
$100
whole,
every
young people need to get out and vote because we're the ones that never show up. You know what I mean? We never show up to vote.
And I might be a surgeon,
But,
who knows?
We're the
A
future,
doctor,
so
a
it's
surgeon.
like, look, we gotta go out there and vote, and then
How much money does
whatever
surgeons
happens,
get?
happens.
Like-
but at least we did our part.
$10,000 every week or something. $5,000, $10,000, $10,000, I don't know. Like a lot of money every week. Like more than 1,000. Am I right?
Yeah.
1,000 or more than 1,000. It has to be either
Honestly, because
500. Am I right?
I think that George Floyd really woke up a lot of people who, including myself, who I was vocal and outspoken about racism.
Are you happy that you're seeing that a white person treats you normal?
Talk about it in interviews, I was vocal about it, but that
I treat everyone the
in
same.
that
Guess
moment,
what?
I think me along with a lot of other people,
Guess what,
it
Noah?
just kind of was like,
I don't know, play with
words
the
are simply not enough
down
anymore.
with the
We
team,
gotta
wanna
do
play
something.
Zoomies,
Raising money,
I'm just
whether it's voting
talking.
or all the above. We gotta do
Because
something.
this
you
is
know?
not getting
And-
boring to me.
And
I'm bored.
I'm ashamed that
Play
it
one
took
solo map.
that for me.
Never mind, don't.
to be like, I need to raise
It
money,
said party
and I
moving
need
in.
to vote.
Party is
It's a
moving in
shame.
50
And
seconds. Don't.
it just, I guess it
I'm already
snapped a
in
bunch
one.
of people out of it.
I'm gonna,
Even if
I'm
you
gonna
were
show you Loco Maniac.
and whatnot. It's time to actually put your about this.
It's biting my toes!
It's time to just stop talking about it.
My
And
toes!
it's been
I'm
time
gonna,
for that.
I'm
but
gonna bite your
like I
dog.
said, I'm ashamed that it took me
I'm just
this
kidding.
long to actually really
Because
be
then
about
you'll
it.
be depressed that your dog's gone.
So Russ, we all know that
No,
this
but
is
you
your
can't.
first time voting. Tell me
How do
what
you know
that
I
experience
just, oh yeah, I
is
just
gonna
told
be
you
like for
that I
in terms of
have
what
What's
you're
its name
excited
then?
I think
I'm
you know what it's
gonna
gonna
go to
do
his
for me. It's gonna
cat.
let me know that I'm
No, its name is Batman.
contributing to something bigger than myself, and I'm
You
actually
forgot
That's
about
not
that?
true.
putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm being about
How
it.
is the
because,
party moving it?
for
Where's
so
it
long,
gonna
and I know I'm
go?
not alone with this, but
5,
standing on
4,
the outside and
3,
just
What?
screaming about this and that, and this
2,
should change. And this, it's like, all right, but did you vote? You know? And so I know it's gonna feel good to know that I played a small role, you know? And that's the problem. I think the mentality is like, my vote doesn't matter.
Ready up and return to lobby.
My vote, albeit small, does matter. It's a role I'm playing, and if I play my
just wanted to do those.
And she plays their part,
I want to watch this.
then we make a difference. But
bye guys.
you know, it'll feel.
I'll see you when there's another stream. I'm sorry about this, but I'll see you in another stream.